It says no stream. Hey folks, I'm Joseph. Have another taco. And let me put this away real quick. Alright. I am your best, worst protest streamer. The blind, cancer, diabetic, blah, 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 whatever. Anyway. Before I unpack everything, I just wanted to show you, in fact, since the rain has stopped for, just the walk over here, I am going to pull the top and show you guys what's going on here. That is about as organized as it gets for right now, which is pretty good. I have everything to show you underneath the first aid kit, but I'll do that after I put you guys on the tripod, which I do keep clipped right here. Much faster deployment than packing it up into its pouch, or have to invert the legs and everything. All right. I am turning that screw the wrong way. I did say I was the best worst protest streamer, didn't I? I think I made a point of that. Anyway. 1, 2, 3. All right. Oh, sorry for the shaky cam while I am fighting with this thing. Did say I was the worst, didn't I? Okay. It's windy as fuck out here. Let me drop y'all in right there, like that. And while I have the top off and everything. So I'm a protester, and I'm also a, at least working on becoming a, medic as well. That's my first aid kit. It is pretty well stocked with everything you could need for boo-boos and not so boo-boos. This thing. If you saw that big-ass bottle carrier I have. Hey, TriMed, we love you! This is a neoprene bottle carrier. It carries a 6-pack. It's got all the saline for, should anybody get maced or, they deploy tear gas bombs and grenades and whatever the fuck. That one is half the size of that plastic one I had before. So that's an advantage. It's cheaper. That's another advantage. It fucking stinks. It's neoprene that came wrapped in plastic. Ugh, the smell. It's going to smell terrible for another 2 days, probably. But, that is probably, carrying saline out here in its final form. You. Come on. Come on. Turn, damn you. There we go. That bottom one really stinks. Alright. The reason why I need the stool was because I brought dinner. Ugh. These are still the most obnoxious thing. So anyway, this is a slow ass start because I'm, setting up, narrating, and dropping shit everywhere as I. Worst protester ever. Well, worst protest blogger ever. Alright, yeah, these chairs are still the weak link. You are the weakest link. Way too fucking much. Okay. So, there's not a whole lot going on at the ice building on a weekday. So bringing a lot of this shit out here is mostly just in case something happens, because if you don't bring it, something will happen. And if you don't recover it, it will start pouring. Fuck ice! Hey, TriMed! Love you! I can't tell if he actually waved or not. I probably could, but I can't. All right. So, guys! Of course, I'm rearranging myself to be right. Underwear's gonna drip on my head. Let's not do that. So there's a few of us out here protesting, but just a scattered few. That is how it works on Monday. Just a smaller group overall. They're, sort of scattered around. If something happens, they'll come running. All 4 or 5 of them. Because it is a windy, rainy day. Welcome to March or early June, I guess. That be how it works here. All right. So, with all of that long-ass preamble out of the way, I am grabbing batteries and stuff I should have handy, because I can already see what my phone is doing, and it's not. Once again, I neglected to set the thing to subs only, so if you're here and you are not a sub yet, and not some asshole MAGA who's going to spam the chat, welcome. If you are, you're going to get tossed. My mods don't put up with that shit. And if you get tossed, it'll be probably a month or 2 before you get unbanned. So don't piss off my mods. Okay. So there we go. I've now got chat open so I can see what's going on. I came out here today with a couple of topics, and that's what we do on quiet days like this, is we bring topics. Somebody else brought a table. All the, proper protesty setup sort of things. Okay, so topics. I said I brought 2. The first one is the California election, specifically the Los Angeles mayoral election. Is anybody keeping track of that? Oh, before I get started, I need to say I didn't bring them out here because wind, but Chris sent me stickers. I made a post about it and didn't really spread them out on the table, but there's a ton of stickers. When I get a chance to sit down and stickerify the shit out of everything, all my stuff is going to have lots of taco stickers on it, so people will know who it belongs to. So, thank you, Chris. This was low priority, but kind of annoying to track some things down. People are always borrowing my chairs, and they're black. And is it because they're black? Yes, it is. I'm out here at night. The chairs are black. Having those handy will be a really good way to, help identify my stuff so it gets back to me. That is It was not a high priority for me being out here. It was a high priority for me not being annoyed being out here after I want to go home because I am sore and tired. But that first topic I had was the mayoral election in Los Angeles. It's rigged. Everything's rigged. Every vote is rigged if I don't win. All right. First of all, as a Republican, I actually said, it's funny that they seem to always be counting votes after they come in. What is going on there? Now, I still have questions about why they can't be a little more organized than that. But they're finding thousands and thousands of ballots after Election Day. And I'm starting to, somebody's explained that some of those are mail-in ballots that were postmarked by Election Day, but haven't been delivered. And states are allowed to do that, although Trump is trying to make it so they can't. If you made it so they can't, that would reduce, but not eliminate the, oh, we have more ballots to count. Honestly, I think they shouldn't, they should hold the results for a week and announce it when they know what the results are. But that's just me. Provisional ballots, okay, statistically speaking, provisional ballots only get counted if they might overturn the results of an election. If it's really close, they'll look at them. It sucks because it makes you feel like your vote doesn't count. But it's the same issue for military ballots that have, been postmarked but come in later. They tend to only get counted if the results would be, if there are enough ballots uncounted that some race for anything, a measure, a candidate, etc., will be affected. If we've got 50 ballots that came in late because they're military or provisional or whatever, they haven't been counted yet. 50 ballots uncounted. And I realize that's a very unrealistic number. But what you actually have is 50 ballots you haven't counted, and every single thing on the ballot has been decided by 1,000 votes or more. You don't bother. Which sucks because your vote wasn't counted. But realistically, your vote would not have changed the outcome, so they tend not to bother. If somebody has worked in elections office and can tell me I'm full of shit, at least where they work, please do. Because I don't like that answer. It was one I was given. Hello. Hi. It was one I was given, but not by an elections worker. It was by somebody else in the political process. So if it's bullshit, I would like to know. Oh, of course another Trump will run. But that just relates to the, oh, they keep finding ballots, finding ballots. The claim is that the reason why they find ballots like that, and I will point out, I echoed this one while I was a Republican, so. But the reason why the whole they keep finding ballots thing is kind of bullshit, and it's proven by this mayoral election. The sitting incumbent is who the party is putting their muscle behind. The sitting incumbent is a Democrat. And theoretically, they're futzing with the election to disadvantage this Republican and make sure he doesn't make it into the runoff election on election day. So there's 3 candidates, 2 of them are Democrats, 1 of them is a Republican. And they want to make sure, supposedly, that the Republican is not even an option on the November ballot to help the sitting incumbent Democrat. Why is that bullshit? Hey, Ethan. See, there's a few of us out here. We're just scattered about. So why is that bullshit? Sorry, I'm distractible today. It's bullshit because the Democrat is doing a hell of a lot better in the polls. A hell of a lot better. Like, minus 18 for the Republican. Than the sitting incumbent Democrat, who is running again. The Democrat challenger, who is, in my opinion, a better choice, a progressive Democrat, is +4. So why, if you're trying to cheat the election to make sure your incumbent wins, why would you help the incumbent win by making sure the runoff is between them and somebody they're going to lose to? Or at least a good chance of losing. Polls are not accurate. They're usually close, but they can be off by as much as 6% or so. Well, they're actually trying to help the progressive win, not the incumbent. Okay. If that's the case, why would they not want the progressive to run against the Republican in November? Because that's minus 32. Whichever Democrat you say they're cheating for, the fact is that when you look at the actual race, they would want that Republican in it instead of the other Democrat. Unless your argument is that they're trying to make sure that there's 2 Democrats so there can't be a Republican, and it doesn't matter which Democrat wins, which, if you believe that, I can't help you, because Probably the only person who hates who hates Democrats more than Republicans are other Democrats. And nobody can sling mud at Democrats better than Democrats can. Graham Plattner in Maine. More than the Republicans are slinging mud at him, Democrats are. I wasn't really planning to get into the Graham Plattner thing, but we can if you guys want. I'm of the opinion that one might well be talked to death at this point, but we can talk about it if you'd like. Yeah, some Dems are trying to be strategic. I guess that's a good topic. Kind of my opinion about the DNC and the current state of things with the establishment Dems is if you are, you know what, if I lower this just a tiny bit, I'm a bit far back because of the rain, but I have a rule about this corner that I don't film anybody's faces except at a distance over here, and people are walking by. Now, I think just about everybody who's walked by is somebody who would be okay with, like, walking by on camera, but lowering the whole thing down just a tiny bit more will probably make it a little easier for me to read chat, actually. But also, it means anybody who walks by right in front of the camera, their face won't be on it at all. Because the camera is at, this is lower than nose height. Okay, that's about nose height with me sitting. So kind of my issue with the DNC and with the establishment Democrat, and we saw this a little bit kind of with the whole fuck up with the autopsy of the 2024 election. Aside from that being AI written bullshit that wasn't actually like fact checked and properly done by a human at all. Not even as an assist to the AI. Kind of the problem I see with the DNC and with the, those establishment type Democrats is instead of telling me what they are doing, which was mostly nothing, by the way, and let me put a pin in doing nothing because I'll come back to it. Aside from telling me what instead of not telling me what they're going to do or what they are doing, what are they doing now, which is nothing. What they are doing instead is trying to figure out how to tell me what they will do in the future if they win an election, so I will vote for them. And then, of course, once they do, they'll do fucking nothing there, too. Because the best predictor of future performance is past performance. And the establishment corporate Dems are cowards. I have been a Democrat less than a year, and I've already figured that much out. So, going back to the doing nothing part, you'd say, well, they don't have any power. I mean, especially like federally in Congress, they don't have any power. Okay? First of all, they have a ton of power in blue states. And they aren't using it. Something we said as Republicans was, remember, in a blue state that's got a red county, the sheriff is the highest ranking law officer in the land. Not the feds, not the CIA, not the motherfucking 82nd Airborne, not anyone else Donald Trump wants to send. The county sheriff is the highest ranking law officer in the land. Democrat governors could do a lot to make sure that the county sheriffs are induced to say no to ICE, to stop cooperating, to stop giving them material support. Say, I can't even get the city council of fucking Portland to stop bending over backwards for ICE. Portland police bend over backwards for ICE. I don't know why. Well, it's coming from the feds. We have to comply. Do you? No, you don't. And that's the thing. If the states don't comply, the feds don't have much power. They can simply say, nope, we're not doing it, and we're taking you to court over it. I mean, we're taking you to court over one aspect of it, and if that fails, we'll take you to court over another aspect of it. And if that fails, we'll take you to court over another aspect of it. They can do that. And to a limited extent, some of them are, but how many of them aren't? What the fuck is going on in New Jersey? So you see the problem. But not only that, look at Congress. Well, Democrats are dragging their feet in Congress, right? No, they're really not. If you want to know how to obstruct as a minority party, look at the lessons of Mitch McConnell. You could drag out every procedure, demand every single process be followed, all the things they normally short circuit because they got better things to do with their life. Right now, Democrats in Congress, the only thing they have to do in life, because they don't have much power, is to drag this system to a halt. Make Republicans do what they did Friday night at 5 a.m. or whatever it was. Friday night at 5 a.m. I think it was. Or was it Saturday? Last weekend. Where they passed this thing at 5 a.m. with complete and total just rejection. That it was they did the budget reconciliation thing where they basically gave those motherfucking cockwaffles billions more just because, you know, they can, with no extra guardrails since they've, you know, thrown away all the ones that existed. Make the Republicans say, yes, we are making these people into fucking stormtroopers. Love you, TriMet! OPP. Public broadcasting, blah, blah, blah. Viewers like you, listeners like you. Because they sure ain't getting any federal money right now. I bet someone who's good at tracking down the money, and that's not me, but I bet you could prove that the for-profit Murdoch news empire is receiving more public money at this point than PBS. Bet you could probably prove that. The Senate are in session, except when they're not, but they're in session and they're not actually, like, they're not being blocked. Democrats could make their lives fucking hell. I'm sorry, this bill must be read 3 times in its entirety before you can pass it. It's 1,000 pages. Good luck with that. Especially fun because Republicans used to be the ones who said they're not even reading the bill. Make them read it 3 times. You got 1,000 pages of bullshit? Make them read it 3 times. For the most part, Democrats have not been willing to inflict pain. This time they did, evidenced by the 5 a.m. thing. This time they did, at least a little bit. And it's hard to do anything else with budget reconciliation. A lot of the safeguards to protect the minority don't exist in budget reconciliation. That's one of the reasons why they made it like that, is so that that wouldn't happen. But they could drag so much out. And the governors can do so much to resist the federal overreach and abuse. But instead, Democrats seem to want to focus on what do they have to tell me to get me to vote for them. And that makes them come across as sounding fake. Now, I get it, harm reduction. The time to wave at a bus love you, TriMet! Career connection. I have no idea what that's about. I mean, I could guess. Oh, Hillary, yeah. She was a great example of exactly what I'm talking about. The kind of corporate centrist who doesn't actually plan to do anything necessarily other than say what she needed to do to win. And she came across as fake. People knew it. I mean, since I was a Republican at the time, you might say, yeah, no shit, when I say there was no way in hell I was going to vote for Hillary Clinton. But I wasn't exactly looking forward to voting for Trump either. I was looking for anybody else to vote for. I'd planned to vote third party. You could not convince me to vote for Hillary Clinton as a Republican. You could have convinced me to vote for Bernie Sanders. Yes, really. Because one of my values was that he at least had integrity. I figured the country would survive 4 more years of a Democrat in charge, but I wasn't sure it was going to survive 4 years with Donald Trump. And based on the second term, it might not. I do wish that the incident that caused me to decide to vote for the motherfucker in the first place had not happened. I really do. Which is why I am glad that we collectively have decided that, you know, deciding to engage in violence against a random person walking down the street, not okay. Is that going to apply to everybody? I don't know. I doubt it. paint the reflecting pool. Paint. Not seal, paint. My God. Why did I vote Trump? Before the election, or at least 2 weeks before I got, I got my ballot a couple of days afterward, basically. So a few weeks before the election, somebody tried to take my head off with a crowbar from behind, chasing me, several blocks down the road. And they were all in black and red with masks on their face. That was 2016. And they said that I was a friend of a guy named Mike Strickland. I was. They'd seen me shaking his hand 5 years earlier, and that I was going to vote for Trump. Not true. But after, one swing, put two big scrapes in the back of my hat. I wear hats like this. I'm zoomed in. Wear a hat like this, and I got one that's got two big claw marks in the back of it now. I did save it as a reminder of what happened. Originally to remember why I was so angry, and now I save it as a reminder of why you should never vote out of spite, fear, and anger, ever. I did. That was my mistake. That swing that scraped up my hat was 1 inch from severing my brain from my neck. That would not have been fun. I would be an ex-albino at that point. But the reason why I survived that, I think, is because that same swing ripped my backpack in half and dumped everything in it, which was a fair bit of stuff, on the street behind me as I was running. So it kind of slowed down the people who were chasing me. I probably am only alive today because of that. So I don't recommend and encourage that kind of thing, Hi.
Your name is?
They call me Taco. My name is Joseph.
It's good to see you, Joseph. Y'all be careful tonight.
Always am. Says the guy who crossed the blue line the other day for journalistic reasons. As minimally as possible to get the story. to actually make America great, like actually for real, you need to actually have like laws that mean something and people willing to enforce them. We haven't had a lot of that. Which, of course, dovetails nicely into the whole immigration thing. Well, if they want to come here, they should follow our laws, is what they say. And I know that's what they say because I was one of the people who used to say it. All right. First of all, a lot of the people that ICE is arresting had jobs legally. You can't get a job legally in this country as an immigrant unless you have legal status. They are revoking that legal status and then saying you're here illegally. Well, shit. But more than that, there is a town in Minnesota, just south of the Canadian border. It is a tiny asshole town. And they have a neighbor who was just arrested by ICE. He's been here for, well, he's been part of their community for 17 years. And you got these rednecks. I didn't know he was illegal. MAGA town. Very much a MAGA town. And what they're learning is, holy shit, they're not giving him his civil rights. He's got civil rights. They're being denied. He's got 4 kids. They're citizens. They're U.S. citizens. And yet ICE is treating them like criminals. ICE has no fucking legal authority to lay a fucking finger on 4 U.S. citizens. But they're doing it because they're brown. They're children of an illegal immigrant. An illegal. And these MAGA people in this MAGA town are going, wait, what the fuck? This isn't right? No, you don't say. I mean, I'd like to arrest Netanyahu. See, that's the thing. Donald Trump, when he says the worst of the worst, what he means is people who are brown. at the moment, I can't, regardless of party. I can't, regardless of party, any person. Because the Republican Party is not a viable political entity. Not in a democratic republic, which is what we are. The Republican Party has tried to overthrow the Democratic Republic. That means they're not part of it. They're not a viable part of the Democratic Republic because they have tried to overthrow it. Now, we've talked about the Republican Party not being a viable part of the political process anymore. And we talked about Hungary, which said the same thing about the party of Viktor Orban. They're basically forcibly abolishing this party. And new parties are coming in to take the place of essentially the political diaspora, because people supported a conservative, not fascist, and that conservative, not fascist, said, I'm going to take this fascist government apart. I'm going to do away with the autocracy. I'm going to do away with the private corporations that are really the state media. I'm going to take away their licenses. I'm going to claw back all of the wealth of the country that has been paid off to oligarchs and other people who are existing only to essentially steal it from us, the regular people. So you've got, you've got the head of this country, who is still a conservative and was a part of Viktor Orban's party, saying, we are not going to put up with this anymore, and we're going to simply abolish this previous political party because it's not legitimate. And they're doing it. Fuck ICE! That's commendable, and that it's the first time that's ever happened in the history of ever that people managed to vote out a dictator. That's never happened before, and I thought it would never happen ever. It has. And that is freaking amazing. Oh, Trump is going to get so booed. If he hasn't been. I don't know when that... Sports ball is not a thing I do. I barely know which end of the puck you have to hit in order to score a home run in the end zone.
Is enchiladas that good? Oh, you're not eating those, huh?
No, I'm not.
Did you know she's got enchiladas over
I
there?
did.
Oh. Don't miss out if you get hungry again, man. Those are good.
I bet. Did I say Minnesota? It is Montana. Thank you for the correction. So, we have this situation that that this town is learning the hard way what ICE is really about. And they're talking. No, this is wrong. This is so wrong. And they have showed the fuck up. Now, unfortunately, that's probably what it's going to take for anybody who's still on the Trump train. They're going to have to see it. Now, the reporter was talking to a guy from that town. He's like, I still don't like that, I didn't know he was here illegally, and I still think he should have come in the legal way. But then he's like, that doesn't justify how he was treated. Good for you, sir. And this legal system is so screwed up, I'm not sure he could have done it legally. Also, good for you, sir. That's the thing. There isn't actually a working, functioning immigration system. And even if he had fled across the border illegally to escape drug cartels in Mexico, there needs to be a process for him to become a legal resident, at least. And, I'll go out of my way to say that there should be a path for these people who are now legal residents. If they decide this is their home, they don't have much tie to their home country unless it be, some of the culture that they brought with them. Seems to me a lot of people have done that over the years. Come here and decided that this was going to be their home. And they brought very little with them but what was on their backs, in their trunks, and in their hearts, and with their culture and way of life. Some of them were on a little ship called the Mayflower. Maybe you've heard of it. Love you, TriMet! Ooh, that was glass. Ooh. That was glass. Whatever he ran over was glass. He or she, I don't know. I couldn't see. The bus ran over something that was made of glass. Hope the tires are all right.
Hey, how you doing, guy? Good. My name is Omari, Emperor Omari. You recorded me with the doing the rap song out here.
Cool.
How did it come out of your video? It came out all right?
I film what's going on over there at the ice building because fuck those bastards.
Yeah, I know. Did you ever get some of my footage too? You ever got any of my rap footage?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna get an enchilada stuff over here, all right?
Sure. Hi. Nope, I've been basically pointed right there at the building. So if you didn't walk in front of it, then I didn't see you.
I saw that not that long ago when I was walking down the highway in the truck with this sweet card, and it makes me sad that it's all there.
I have been told those enchiladas are really good. No, I'll get up and get some if I just finished eating a bowl that I brought with me, which was not bad, but it wasn't Mexican food. I cannot remember her name. The person who brought the food is been sitting in that orange chair, and I cannot tell from here if she's in it or not right now. Hang on, let me cheat and use my magnifying. Oh, she's standing in the blue and pink. She's the one who brought the food. You can do things to make the name, the name of the account can be different than the display name. Like my username on YouTube is all one word, Have Another Taco PDX. But my display name is Have Another Taco, 3 words. You can do that. There's a person who has Have Another Taco without the PDX on it. They used their account last forever ago. I'm considering asking, trying to see if I can contact them and ask them if they'd be willing to change their username so that I can have it. If I did that, I would probably need to pay them. And I'm not monetized by enough to pay them. I'm only allowed to make money on videos like this one where there's no music playing. But I'm likely to, if I do make any money on this video, and I probably won't, it will be pennies. Basically, I make money when somebody donates to a super chat or buys a membership or gift subs or sends me something from my YouTube, or my Amazon wish list. Stuff like that. Which Chris did. He sent me stickers. Thanks again, Chris. He said I also have some, you'll notice that the medical shears that I had on my wish list, if you've looked at it, are not there anymore. He also sent those. They aren't here yet. They may have arrived and been in a box that I took inside on the way out the door, but I have not seen them yet. The funny thing is, you don't see most of us with lots of alts and fake accounts and whatnot. I mean, maybe some people have one. I don't know. But you don't notice us having and using lots of alt accounts. It always seems like they've got more. They got all the alts in the world. And I ask myself, why is that? That's because they don't follow the rules. Now, possibly some of you know who Ground Zero is because he's another streamer who comes out here. Well, used to come out here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Stacy! You got a couple of thanks for the enchiladas! Okay, that is her name. So the medical shears, as I was saying when I started, I'm basically trying to be both a streamer and a medic because I've seen a couple of medical things happen right in front of me out here, and they had to go and get somebody else who wasn't here, and I could have been the guy. So, but yeah, I mean it's. If this were my job or something, I would not want to leave the camera to, because I'm out here working. I'm making my income. But since I don't really make much, I don't come anywhere near covering what I've already spent on this, and I'm not going to for a while. A long ass while. It's fine. You can help that if you'd like. But the most important thing you can do, doesn't cost a dime, it is to like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you have not, and if you want to know when I'm going to actually start streaming, that's what that bell is for. It will give you a notification like it does when it says, somebody liked your comment. It'll say, Have Another Taco has an upcoming stream. And I don't have multiple streams every day. I've got one several days a week. So, you're not going to get flooded with notifications of upcoming streams. I don't need to know about their relationship status. I don't care. So, sorry, I got distracted. Not following the rules. Ground Zero got a copyright strike on his channel because he uploaded a video, well, he live streamed a video featuring my live stream. that used to be something he could do. All he had to do was give credit for it. That changed because a couple of people, Fat Patriot being one of them, just fucking wouldn't consistently put my name on my videos. He'd put a libtard or some bullshit. It was like a simple ask. Leave people's stuff on their work. I'm out here in the wind, and I mean it stopped raining, but it's windy and cold. Welcome to March or June, whichever. It's Oregon. If he wants to come out here and freeze his ass off, he's welcome to do that. He's not doing that. But my videos are no longer eligible to be used by other creators because some people wouldn't play nice with the very simple ask of leave my name on my stuff. So, if you want to complain about that, Fat Patriot is one of the people you can direct your annoyance to. Now, he removed the video. That's all he had to do. If he doesn't do it again, that should be, the issue is resolved. But I will be enforcing that copyright. And we have enforced the copyright already against more than just Shane. Shane was just the one I did myself. One of my mods was kind enough to do it to a couple of other people, including PJ Media. If we're going to copyright strike PJ Media, yeah, you get the idea. I think there might be people behind me. Because there's just Stacy over there. There sounds to be people kind of goofing off over that away. I would say that there are other people over there goofing off. Hey, they're here. If shit happens, they're here. All right. Since I'm actually up and moving, I'm going to walk over here. Show you what Stacy brought us. First of all, there's sour cream, and I heard there's chicken. So, do you people recall me saying that I absolutely love me some blueberry muffins? All right, I'm gonna have to set you guys down because my ability to do this is hampered by the fact that it's going to require two hands. But I will show you what she brought. That looks to be rice and veggies. So very similar to what I was having. Although what I had was something called a Bigfoot bowl that they had at Safeway. And I'm like, yeah, I'll try that shit. That appears to be beans. That appears to be the enchilada. Chicken, I think. This appears to be like depot. Am I going to have some of that? Yeah, I think I am. Yeah, that looks good to me. I am no stranger to using sour cream instead of a Mexican cream. In fact, it's fairly my default. Can we do this one-handed? We can. So even with just a few people out here, Stacy was still nice enough to bring a pretty good meal. So before, but I have heard it said that RFK wants to ban Coke Zero and Diet Coke, Coca-Cola beverages that have artificial sweeteners in them. If RFK Jr. bans Coke Zero, I will personally make his office look like January 6th was a fucking ice cream social. Don't fuck with my Coke Zero. All right, you guys are actually talking. You guys are actually being serious about serious topics. So let me see what we're. First of all, let me zoom back in. I am Pacific Daylight Time. I am in Oregon. The clouds are. We are definitely past the sun being behind those trees, but. You guys can see almost the, in the camera, you can see almost the depth of color that I do. Almost. I know that this image is brighter than what other people are seeing, and it has more color range than what people actually see with their eyes for nighttime footage. But I see much darker darks and lighter lights than you guys are seeing. And I see more colors. There is still some, some kind of rainbowing a little of the clouds, just a tiny bit, but it's there. And I don't know if that comes across for you. It does for me. Our wonderful Mexican food benefactor, which I haven't had any yet, so I'm going to take a bite real quick. I mean, except the guy behind the camera. Since y'all seem to insist that Antifa is an organization, it's not. I mean, there was a Rose City Antifa. It doesn't exist anymore. Hasn't existed in years, but I was not a member of that organization. I am an anti-fascist. Most of the Antifa members, well, Stacy's over there, and there's about half a dozen or so directly behind me. Well, directly behind me is a wall, but right there, around that corner there, over here. Over here. There's a few people down the street there. They're watching. But they're watching from a distance. They come running if something happens, but not much is going to happen at this hour. Not with this hour, this weather. I come out here to discuss political topics with people. Your enchiladas are awesome, and my fiance is going to be jealous. I was out here. I had only just started coming out here when I was out here about the time that happened. And I saw some footage. As usual, it seemed to be a case where, you know, if you get in people's face and start a fight, people who are willing to get into a fight, if you're willing to start one, are willing to respond. We have some people out here who are eager to have a fight with some MAGA people. I am not one of them. I will do what I need to do to look after myself if I must. But I'm not looking for a fight out here. I started streaming before, well, I didn't start streaming, I started shooting videos before Nathan started streaming. My videos weren't initially streamed because I didn't think I could do it. And I thought I was better off trying to, you know, take video home and then upload it. But then I kept needing to do things to it, like edit it and stuff. And it's like, I'm not going to edit my video. I'm just not going to do that. I'm not going to be the person that does that. That is not my skill. If you've got somebody in your face at this distance, you are legally allowed and entitled to move them out of your space. Like, that is not starting a fight. That is responding to a threat, an assault. People keep getting this backwards. Assault is not actually hitting somebody, it is threatening them. And if you get right up in somebody's grill, you are threatening them. That is an assault. You can respond to an assault with reasonable force. Notably, that usually escalates things, but you're legally allowed to do it. this last weekend, we commemorated 1 year of doing this. I wasn't out here 1 year ago. I didn't come out until September 17th. But I've made myself a regular since. Because, initially I came out here just to say Trump was lying. And I was hoping that I, as the very recently former Republican, was not likely to, I'm going to go and rescue the lid that went flying. It has been not. When I was a Republican, we used to always mock the mostly peaceful. It hasn't been mostly peaceful. It has been actually peaceful, occasionally punctuated with a few brief instances of somebody trying to start some shit. Now, I'm not going to say it has never been anybody on our side trying to start some shit, but 4 out of 5 times it has not been. And I think that is a conservative estimate on my part. When it has been our people, I gotta say, it's been some MAGA folks show up, usual suspects. Some of our people are bored, they don't have anything else to do. It's been really, really quiet, not much going on. There's fewer people, so they'll decide, let's go, let's go hassle the MAGA people for fun. Because there aren't many of us, but there's not many of them either. When there's more of us, it tends not to happen because if there's more of us, the people who would otherwise, get bored with nobody here, have people to talk to. So there's no need. And that's when the MAGA folks come over, and they're the ones to start it because they need content for their super chats and whatnot. Love you, TriMed! Yeah, that's a problem. Patriots! Oh, that's fucking hilarious. Blow away on you. Did you find these at Costco?
Look.
Huh?
I made this all from scratch, you silly.
You did?
Yes.
Cool. I noticed that they were like
In trays?
yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking currently.
Makes sense. My fiance is going to be jealous because you're a better cook than she is.
I've been doing it a long time.
Now, usually I do the cooking at home, but I did notice that the muffins are actual blueberry muffins.
Yes, and they're vegan, so they're coconut milk,
Oh, I haven't had one yet.
and they're wild blueberries.
Sounds delicious. I grabbed two because people hadn't devoured them. Well, thank you so much for doing that, especially on a Monday. I know that I have I have brought a couple of people out of MAGA. I'm not going to say that they're going to vote for Democrats, especially if Democrats don't get their shit together for long term, but we got their support right now. And they're seriously going, what the fuck, Republicans? I haven't really tried yet to convince them that, it is all... convince them of what I have discovered, which is that the Republican playbook since 1980 has been to slow walk what has become Project 2025. slow walk it because the American public would not have taken. The American public would not have put up with it in 1980. And really, what they started in 1980 that became called Project 2025 was something they first tried in 1933. It was many Republicans, not all, some Democrats, not many, and some of the wealthiest millionaires, because billionaires weren't really a thing, millionaires in the country. And they attempted something called the business plot. It was an attempt to install a fascist dictator in the United States. Stated as such, there was just one problem with their plan. The guy they chose to be their fascist dictator, Marine General. He was genuinely a patriot. And he saw fascism as incompatible with the Constitution. Because fascism is incompatible with the Constitution. So he ratted him out. And then nothing happened. Nothing happened really, but the country was in the middle of a depression. The New Deal was trying to get us out of it. They wanted to undo the New Deal and stop having these stupid people deciding the future of our country. And stupid meant poor. It still does. And they basically got away with it because with all the people with the money behind it, and with both parties being behind it, I mean, we were caught. Okay, let's just, move on. Let's not worry about the past. Let's focus on the future of our country, they said. Sound familiar? This time, we need to make sure they do not get away with it. This time it needs to actually result in the people behind it facing charges. And at this point, the entire Republican Party needs to be facing charges. All the Republicans and a few of the Democrats. Okay, I meant to catch that before it happened, but check that out. Doesn't that look cool? I mean, you don't need a conspiracy for... If Trump dies, you don't need a conspiracy for that to have been... His own body is doing its best to kill him off right now. Which is all the more reason why I say, if anybody is actually thinking about trying to help it along, don't waste your life. You ain't worth it. What I'm mostly concerned about is when Trump decides to stop caring about the consequences. Like, okay, Donald Trump is doing damn near everything he's doing, first of all, to steal as much money as he can, because that's what kind of person he is. Because he actually hates people and he has a weapon to hurt them. And most importantly, because he doesn't want to go to prison. Anything to stay out of prison, right? If he is going to be removed from power, either because, he can't run a third time, or because he's being impeached, what are the odds that he decides, fuck it, I'm just gonna arrest Congress. I'm just gonna launch a nuclear weapon. I'm just gonna something. What are the odds he does that? Those odds are not going down. As Trump is increasingly likely to be removed, and as his mental state is deteriorating, the odds of that kind of thing go up, and they're going up. And this is where we get, something I've talked about before, which is the argument over 25th Amendment or impeachment. Straight up, 25th Amendment does not actually remove him from office. It temporarily removes his authority until he decides he wants it again. Now, the thing is, if he decides he wants his authority again today, there's a time limit that Congress has to decide whether or not he gets it back. And he can't have it until they have their vote, or fail to have their vote. However, I consider that the 25th Amendment to still be in play because it can be used in concert with impeachment. And that vote, the reason why I point out it's temporary, and Trump gets back his authority as soon as Congress fails to have a vote or doesn't decide the vote the right way, it's a 2/3 majority in both houses, so impeachment is actually easier. But the reason why I suggest both is because if you have the vote to remove him as president, on your way to tell him we're going to impeach you, what you have done is a 1-2 punch. You have defanged him as a threat and then told him he's being removed from office. If you do both of those things at once, you effectively cut off his ability to retaliate. And I think that's what you've got to do. Now, do I trust that members of Congress are intelligent enough to pull this off? No, I don't. I don't. If he's removed by the 25th Amendment, the pardon power goes to J.D. Vance until his power is restored. Takes his authority. He's still president, but he doesn't have the authority. But the problem with it is that it's temporary, and it's contingent on Congress being willing to vote to do more than impeach him. More of Congress voting to keep him from being president than it takes to impeach him. So if you want him sidelined, he's got to choose to stay sidelined, which he's Donald Trump. He's not going to do that. Or you have to have a threat. And the threat is impeachment. It's the only one that matters. And Donald Trump can fire his entire cabinet. Reconnect. Donald Trump can fire his entire cabinet except for one person, J.D. Vance, whose guts he fucking hates. A few protesters out here. That would be Ethan, known by many as Bike Dude, but he said his name on camera, and I'm not afraid to use it if he's done that. Haha, somebody saw a sign. It may have opened up their eyes. So Trump always says he likes to make a deal. Now the fact is, Trump doesn't know the first thing about making deals, but he wants you to believe he does. The 1-2 of removing him from office using the 25th Amendment and impeachment is that it goes like this. They're ready to impeach you, and we have already taken away your authority under the 25th Amendment. If you resign now, we will pardon you for crimes committed as president. I don't like this, by the way. I gotta stress, I don't like this. But if they want to offer him a deal, if Republicans just want him gone after the midterms, this would be the deal they would offer him, or should offer him, looking at it from their point of view. If you resign as president, so we don't have to impeach you, and go away, retire to Mar-a-Lago, or leave the country, your choice, go away, and J.D. Vance will pardon you. I want the motherfucking prosecutor, so I don't want that. But after Republicans get their asses handed to them in the midterms, they might turn on Trump, and they might attempt, assuming they can figure out how to do it, they might attempt to do something like that.
Thousands of immigrants are living in detention centers. This is we speak directly of the main initially we asked for forgiveness.
And the fact is, if they did it that way, mainstream establishment, mainstream establishment Democrats are likely to do that.
In accordance with the opportunity granted to us by the Constitution and the laws of the United States. Likewise, we had periodic check-ins in order to report to the authorities. We also obtained work permits, Social Security, we filed taxes, and we were working legally and contributing to the country's economy. We must also mention that within this group, there are individuals who cross the border, integrated into society, form families, and have lived in this country for 10 years or more with their children.
I always am.
Who, despite not
So the guy
having
who
legal
walked across the
status,
blue line
have also been paying their
Saturday.
annual taxes and have a clean record. We find individuals from the LGBTQ plus community with diagnoses of illnesses such as HIV, cancer, diabetes, heart problems, among others, who are not receiving proper medical attention for the aforementioned conditions. We know that ICE agents have orders to arrest immigrants, but in our cases, we had already been processed for complying with legal requirements, and there was no order from a judge for our detention or arrest, since from our entry we received a procedural benefit. However, ICE officers did not take into account the fact
that was so good. Thank you so much.
there was already an immigration court meeting, and they arrested us during the check-in at USCIS.
One thing about cooking for Monday nights is it's a much smaller fry.
It really is. I come out here and I'm like, okay, I'm going to stream for several hours. I'm just going to be basically sitting there pulling pointing a camera at a mostly empty driveway. So what I do is I bring out, topics, and I encourage other people to bring topics, and we talk about them. And most of my people come for the chat, not necessarily, the coverage is useful, but they're here for what we're discussing. So taking advantage of that is a really good idea.
Yeah, it is. And it gets people talking. We need more people out here. Please take any more of the muffins that you want or rice and beans. You're more than welcome.
More muffins. I mean, if I had a convenient way to carry a couple of muffins, you know what? I might.
There you go. You can put them in a bowl with your
Regular bits of sand and grit.
Right. Absolutely. Well, that's the thing too.
Although, that's the thing about enchiladas. Enchiladas are a great thing for just to stick it in the oven.
Yeah, but if you make one big pan enchiladas, you only have to cook one for a couple of days.
Oh, the trash bag. I think it's a lot. I keep meaning to put trash bags back into the wagon.
I remember to grab a couple this time.
I am so glad that I brought these, guys. USB hand warmers. I thought I had taken them out of my pockets because why the hell am I going to need hand warmers for the next 6 months? Oh,
Right?
right. Especially when I'm, fiddling with the, aluminum tripod. How late is it getting? It is nearly 10. I may not stay out here much past that because there is not much going on out here. And I think I've mostly exhausted topics, unless you guys have got more. I will definitely stay out here if you've got more to discuss. Because the reason why I would want to do that is because if we have more to discuss now, it's all going to be different on Thursday or Friday. It totally will. Love you, TriMet! Two! Double TriMet! All right. guys got anything else? It's going to be hot. Yeah, it's going to be fucking hot. She was offering more enchiladas, not tacos. And I grabbed more muffins. I don't have a way to carry. I'm not hungry anymore because I had that Bigfoot bowl, but which, I mean, I would, if I knew that I needed something real quick and that was what was there, like, if I saw it and it's like, I need something for tonight, I would grab one, but for the price, they're a little expensive for what it was. It was okay, but it wasn't phenomenally good, so... Like any of those sorts of meals, they're okay. They're just not amazing, and they're never going to be really because they are packaged, days ahead of time. They're just sticking in the microwave for a minute, and then by the time you get it out to here, it's cold again. Oh, Trump is toast. Okay, we're looking right at the street, but there's nothing in the driveway either, so... What is a local Portland issue? So I might try something tonight, since Katie isn't around. I might try to do like a stream from home. If somebody is going to be awake to try it, I'll see if I can get it to work. I just want to see if I get it to work. I'm not promising that there's going to be any real topic of discussion. It's not just going to be a test. We might talk about cool stuff if there are cool things to discuss, but I don't know if the hell's gone on while I've been awake. I mean, who knows? I might look to see if he's posted any bullshit since I came out here. He might. Oh, let's face it, he almost certainly did. He doesn't sleep at night. He sleeps during his meetings. But that can be just a pure hangout. If anybody still wants to hang out, it'll be warmer. Otherwise, I think I'm going to call this a night a little early. It's not quite 10 yet, but it's getting colder. Maybe we can discuss some of this stuff from home. So yeah, I think I will pack it up, and I will see you guys on probably Thursday. I'm Joseph. And do be sure to have another taco, or an enchilada, or beans and rice, or a muffin. Yes. Why am I always talking about food out here? Why is that? Good night, everybody. Please be sure to like the stream on your way out if you haven't yet. No, that's not what I want to do. I want to stop the stream. Good night, everybody.